All right, everybody, welcome back to the Gamebreakers podcast. I'm your host, Austinator888, and with me today I have the host of Streaming Superstars. It is the one and only Sammy Superstar. How you doing, Sammy?
What is up, everybody? Excited to be here.
Now, Sammy knows probably less about video games than my 70-year-old grandma, so
Because I actually don't have the time to play them, to be honest.
but Sammy is somebody who knows everything about streaming. And we thought retro games are hard to stream. A lot of people don't know how to stream retro games, including me. So I figured I'd bring him on
And
to
newer
talk about
games.
how to stream retro games. You just want to you want me to change the title to all games, just streaming games?
Whatever. Yeah.
Okay, how do I? There we go. We'll change that. Okay, we're gonna be streaming games, episode 2. Wait, why is it episode? Why did I say episode 2? See,
We
it's
can
oh
start with we can start with like the old games and then I can talk and then
yeah. Let's start with the old games. Okay, so Sammy, let's say that. Well, first off, let's do a little promoting.
yes.
I am for those watching the replay on YouTube. I am live in on Discord. Discord link is down in the
Yes.
description. Sammy's link to his YouTube will be down in the description.
Thank you.
There in the Discord, you can listen to this podcast live, and you can discuss with us during our Q&As.
Great.
All right, so Sammy, now to the real questions. Let's say I have an old Atari. Why am I slipping the name? Well, for some reason, I want to say 6100, but that's not it because sad times. Well, let's say I just had an Atari and I wanted to stream just me playing Pong.
Yeah. So this is interesting. So a lot of people don't know, but Elgato is the best capture card maker actually because they make different things for the games. And actually, the funniest thing was I wanted to capture a game before. It was so funny because I only played one game. This was a couple years ago, and I had a Wii U. So I was curious in streaming
The dreaded
games.
Wii U.
So this was maybe 7 or 8 years ago or more. And so Elgato just came out with this new capture card. And it and this was before the Cam Link. And this used to be able to capture your old retro games. And it had a HDMI or the three port, like the yellow, red, and white. Now,
Oh,
I don't.
those. I
What?
remember those. Those are.
Now, I don't recommend that one because it's old technology, but Elgato makes one called the Elgato Video Capture, and that is a newer device. It comes with software, but the coolest thing is that it's maybe $70 to $80, and there's other ones, but that's pretty cool. Or also, you could buy one of those cheap cam links for like $10, $15, and then you can get the HDMI to VG. No, not component video, and then that would work too. But also, Elgato has some amazing ones that will help you to get started. It's pretty amazing
That sounds
that,
awesome.
yes, and you can buy them. And actually, this is cool. This doesn't have to do with gaming, but it has to kind of. So there's a YouTube creator called Tom Buck. I did an interview with him. He has like a early 2000 camera, and he hooks it up to his streams with this device, so you're able to do it. So if it worked with the 1990s, early 2000 camera, it will work with any device. So that's amazing.
Yeah, that is amazing. Yeah.
And then that is another way of using a capture device, because most people know just the cam link if you want to use a second computer or that. So it's a nice little device.
Okay, so let's go to the next question. It's a stem from the previous question. What about someone on a budget? Let's say they don't want to spend like somebody like me. You know me, I don't have much money to spend on anything techie. How would I how would I want to how would I go about streaming something like that? Can I
So
stream something like that?
yes, you could. Now this is very interesting. So there's a thing called component video to HDMI, and those run like they have cables but also little devices. So those little devices could run up max $20. So you're looking at $20,
Only
and
$20 for
then
something like that? That's actually amazing.
it converts the old analog video, the component, to HDMI,
Oh,
and then you what?
that's actually that
And that's what?
I just didn't. For some reason, that slipped my mind that they have things like that. They have adapters, and yeah, that's.
And that you could buy one for $18, and then you can buy a cheaper capture card that is your cheap. There might be some issues. There's more because it's cheaper, but you could buy one for like 15 to $10, or maybe even 18. So then you add a $10 capture card, or $18 thing, under 28 bucks from Amazon. You can capture your old games, and it's a work around. I don't know if that would work because there might be some Chinese products, but you could totally do that, and that might work, even if you have a cam link or any capture card that you like. So that's pretty cool,
Yeah, that is
isn't it?
pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And so for a budget person, you can do it. So
Okay.
that's another.
So my next thing is
Yes.
you have. I assume you have to have a, an actual computer to
Yes.
stream this. You can't have a normal laptop because they don't have HDMI ports. That's a given.
No. No.
At least my laptop doesn't have an HDMI port.
No, you don't need the HDMI port. A capture card has a USB in.
Oh.
And then, so
Sorry.
it's like a little TV kind of. So so the capture cards have like workings inside of it. So it will act like a little TV. So it will show like a little TV, but it's for the computer. So there's a USB and then a HDMI input. So
Oh,
that's
okay.
pretty cool. So you could even, this is a way that if you're cheap, broke, poor, you could still stream games. You could use a cheap Chromebook even, and this would work. And you could get two of them. You could use StreamYard or Restream, two good streaming softwares. For under $100, you can be streaming games with a Chromebook. So that's pretty cool because those sites are web-based, but
Mm-hmm.
that's another option. Or you could step up, you can have a powerful PC, and you can still stream those games on Mac, PC, Linux, Chrome OS, and you can do any of it. And there's different softwares, and I can get into that a little bit later. But yeah,
Okay, and I'm going to say this right now. If you have a chance, do not use OBS. It is horrible. I absolutely hate OBS. Sammy will agree with me on that. OBS is the worst.
should I talk about this a little bit
Yeah, go
for
ahead.
gamers?
Go ahead.
So why most people don't like OBX. Some people do, but it's so complicated and there's so many workarounds. I stopped using it many years ago, like 4, maybe 30 years ago. So I knew everything. I had a channel, but then I stopped because I switched to two other streaming platforms that are better, that are paid. But the thing is, with paid, free is free. There's going to be limitations. But if you pay for something, even if you're not having the best income, or like if you can only pay like $15 to $10, they have monthly subscriptions, and these would be too better because they give you less headache and they actually have developers. So if you have a bug or an issue, or hey, you said this computer worked but it's not, they can figure out and they could help you. So that's great about that.
Yeah.
So like vMix, some people use vMix, and I see Paul's in the audience. He uses vMix and he streams his game. So I think he has 2 capture cards. He has one, and he has another one. So yeah,
Yeah. I use OBS, and I gotta say, I do not like it at all, but I don't have another option. Sadly. At least
yeah.
not yet. Not yet.
Someday you will.
I mean, if you guys would, get a thing on my Patreon, because I have a Patreon now, just, get a tier on Patreon that you could help pay for that sort of thing.
I'm just saying,
Link in the description.
Patreon is not the best.
No,
Buy
Buy
me
Me
a
a Coffee
coffee.
is, but I like Patreon as well.
Why?
Because it gives you tiers and you can
No, you can
give
do
back.
that in.
Well,
You can do that with buy.
you can give back
Yes.
to your community with Buy Me a Coffee. Like if they
Yes.
But also Patreon is a monthly subscription.
You can do that too. And you could also make private Zoom classes.
Well, you
And
see, I
it
wouldn't do that.
no, I know that, but you can have different tiers, so that's another one.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
we can talk about that later. But we can talk if you want, because this is the thing. I can go back to this. I have used every streaming software ever.
Yeah,
I
I
started with
assume you have.
OBS. Then I started with Ecamm, vMix. I had, once I used StreamYard, Restream, XSplit, Be Live. What else? Manicam. I'm blanking on some other
There's too
ones.
many. I don't expect you to name them all.
But I tested them on PC and Mac, and also there was that, and people don't know this. What's it called? Prism Live has a streaming software that is actually pretty good. I used that, and then I did some other things, and I haven't tested it out since like a year ago, but that software was actually decent. So that was good. and
Yeah.
Austin learned a new
Mhm.
thing because I think he didn't know it. But it's
I
like a
didn't know
little.
that, so thank you for telling me.
It's a mini OBS. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Okay,
So
so for people listening, the one person that's listening live right now, Mr. Burke,
hello, Paul.
you can podcast discussion. It should be the text channel right above this. You can type. You can talk to us. Probably won't respond to you until we get to the Q&A, but you can still talk, and I will see, and I might respond to you while Sammy's talking because he goes on long tangents, but so do I, so don't worry. Okay. Um, Next question. So we talked about streaming retro games. We talked about streaming retro games on a budget. How about streaming newer games? Like,
So
what's your
there's
advice for that?
different. So there's different capture cards for different people. Yay! Different things for different people. So the HD 60S Plus by Elgato is a great one if you're on PC, Mac, Linux, Chrome OS. And like I said, there's different streaming software. So Chromebook actually picks up the feed. So don't buy the HD 60S because there was an issue. You would need to get another software. But if you have the HD 60S Plus, you will have better control and you don't have a headache. So
Yeah.
that's another good one. And also, if you want to spend more money and you're a pro gamer, you just spend $2,000 on a new rig and you're on desktop. There are some great ones for you. There's the 4K 60 Pro that is a built-in capture card, and some actually have built in, and also the Camlink Pro. And the Camlink Pro is $400. But wait a minute, it's a mini video switcher too, so you could do everything, and you can plug it into your computer. And there's 4 inputs, so if you're doing a big stream with all of your boys and doing a 24 hours, you can have 2 consoles and 2 cameras, and you can do even more, and you can buy multiple ones. And I know some people that actually use them. And also there's the 4K 60S. That's another good one, and they also make cheaper ones. The cheaper ones I don't know because some of them are C word, but also you could use the Camlink, and that's another good one. And another one is actually the coolest part. If you're doing a computer game and you're not doing, because I know some people like play Fortnite or all
Ooh,
of that jazz thing. You
really?
know
You're just
what I
gonna
mean?
associate us all with Fortnite? Come on,
No, no,
Sammy.
no. Fortnite, Dead by Daylight,
All right, Dead by
Among
Daylight's
Us.
good. I'll
What
accept
else?
Dead by
Like
Daylight, but I will never accept Fortnite. Do not bring Fortnite into this podcast ever
cringe.
again. It's
Fortnite
the
is
cringiest thing
cringe.
ever.
It's a cringy noob.
So is Among Us, but Among Us is at least kind of fun.
Yes,
Kinda.
kind of. So the thing, so one of the things is some people spend extra money on a streaming PC and a what streaming and a gaming PC. You could do that. That could make you a little bit better, but I would actually recommend this is what I you can do this. This works amazing. There's a thing called NDI that is free, and it gives you so much power. So it's going through the internet, but you could have 2 computers. You could have a PC or a Mac or both, or a PC to PC. It will read in OBS, vMix, Ecamm, all of those major ones that a lot of people use. It can read in there and it can show you. It's so powerful. And also, there's another NDI app for your phone. So if you're just getting started, you could use NDI, and that would help you from the phone. Also, you could bring that into OBS or your streaming platform of choice, like the streaming encoder. And then I would also say something that would be very, very big and impactful.
Yeah.
Some have issues with OBS, with the screen share. You know, like you get frustrated. I know Callie, one of our good friends, had so much issues with OBS, and she has access to vMix, but she didn't want to use it. She's learning it still. But the thing is that there's so much issues with OBS because it's free. It could give you issues. So NDI is another option that is free for the computer, PC, Mac, I think Linux, and you can share network devices. So that's also good if you're not a game streamer, even if you're just like a talking head and give you information like, hello, like, let me do this presentation, like crappy, happy people that do these
But, but
conferences.
but
Like,
what about if you're just a voice and you don't have a head? Not breaking
oh,
the
that
fourth
could
wall or anything.
you could also do that in its streak, so that's another option. And you guys is very, very powerful. So you can have so much control with it. So long, long. But what else do you have?
So all right. So what about streaming on a budget for these newer games? Like, what's your best thing for somebody on a budget? You knew I was gonna ask this. Me being
Like,
someone who's got like no money at all. What's the cheapest way to stream new games? Say, let's put up a hypothetical scenario. Let's go into my perspective. I've got a little ThinkPad laptop and crappy internet.
and that's why you don't stream.
And that's why I don't stream. You are right. All right, let's go back.
Did you say? No. Didn't you say that you're getting an internet upgrade or
Yes,
something?
I am. Okay, so I wasn't going to tell anybody this, but now that you mentioned it, I will say something. I am going to be getting new internet soon, so hopefully you guys won't just
I
be
thought it
seeing.
already came.
No, it hasn't came. They're running the lines and everything, but they're not. It's not hooked up yet.
Ah,
So hopefully those of you on YouTube, you will not just be seeing these podcasts pop up, but you'll also be seeing some game streams as well.
woo! Yay!
Hopefully it'll start at least, I'm hoping by the end of the year. Which I know that's a lot of time, but hopefully I'll have it by the end of the year.
Yeah. So that is amazing. That is amazing news.
Yes.
So what was I about to say?
Streaming on a budget.
Oh, streaming on a budget. Console or computer?
Let's just go a laptop.
Or
Good. Let's
laptop?
say you have good internet.
Good internet. Pretty good PC. First of all, try OBS. And if it gives you issues,
I hate OBS, but I have to use it.
just relax. Take a deep breath. and say OBS is fine and repeat it.
Are we gonna turn this into an ASMR podcast?
ASMR. No, 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 no.
We're
We're
not
not.
doing that. We're
Just
not gonna do that.
ASMR. That video with Paul. ASMR. That
Oh
was
my god,
genius.
that
But
was amazing.
hello, I want to stream games. Tinkles,
Oh,
tinkle, tinkle.
quit with the tinkles, tinkles, tinkles. I hate it.
Streaming, streaming, streaming.
All right,
Okay,
so answer the question.
so so if you're just starting out, use OBS. And also, if that wasn't working well, there's StreamYard or Restream or even what's it called, vMix if you want.
How
And
did
they
you
have a
forget Emix?
subscription.
Emix? How did you forget
vMix.
vMix? Come on, like
No,
you
because you
rave about
said
it all the time.
budget, and
I did say
vMix
budget.
is
You're right.
more. So I would say Restream, that's a web browser one, great. You can pay for it without a watermark, like $8, and it can stream to YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, not Mixer anymore, but like the main 3, 4 heavy ones on the browser for cheap, and also StreamYard. That's a big one too. And why I say Restream, StreamYard, or Be Live is they are the top web browser, and they like take the load off of your computer. They used to be not the best, but they are getting better and better, and you can stream it 1080 and all that stuff. So it would be perfect for someone that doesn't have the best computer. They could stream. So yeah,
Awesome.
that's that.
Okay, so I know you want to plug it, so go ahead and plug this software that you use. I know it's not for gaming, but go ahead.
No, you can do games. I see
I'm saying
people
I know
do
you
that.
don't do it for you don't use it for gaming. I know you can, but I know you don't use it for gaming.
Ecam Live. Oh baby.
But it's only for
Ecam.
Mac. But it's only for Mac. So if you don't have a Mac, you're kind of screwed.
No, and that's why they recommend vMix, because Ecam and vMix are like brother and sister, like they're dating. But there's things I like vMix, and there's stuff that I like about Ecam, and these are all paid. But the thing with the paid one is there's more control. And to be honest, this is crazy. I feel more connected to the Ecam people than the vMix, and I was using vMix for like a year, and then I had been using, because it's about the community. There's 17,000 people in the community, and I know there's, because I see people actually, and people don't know this, but a lot of people have Mac, and they know about Ecam, so they have like, maybe they have thousands of users, but they are not in the group. But there's a great community, and the beta is amazing. So you can do all of this stuff, and you can even stream games. I know there's a couple people actually that use Ecamm stream games, and they have it all set up. Because I think Miles, he uses it for when he streams games.
Well,
Market.
see, I was just about to get to that. That was going to be my next question.
What?
So, the next question, how this is really a Miles question, but how do you stream if you're going to be doing VR? Silence.
You would do the same for like PC. Do you know what I mean? Like how pretend? Do you have a VR?
I have a PlayStation VR, yes.
Is there like a HDMI input or output or like?
So the PSVR, which is how Miles was what Miles Dyers uses. Follow him on YouTube. It plugs directly into the PlayStation itself. So you just have to run an HDMI out from the back of the PlayStation and run it into your PC.
Yes, and you would do the same thing in your Mac. So you would just get a second
So
capture card.
you would do the same
Yeah.
thing with an Oculus.
Yes.
I need to do the new podcast idea, talking to Miles about Oculus versus PSVR.
But you would have to do it a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I know, because he's across the
He's in
pond.
the UK, mate. Hey.
Stop right now.
That UK accent, mate.
Sammy,
Would you love
stop.
a cup of tea?
Sammy, stop right now. I will kick you out of this call. I'm sorry, that was a little aggressive.
I guess you don't like British.
I like British accents, just you're doing a horrible impression of a British accent. Not that I could do any better. Okay, so I think that's about all the questions that I have.
No.
No, it's not all the questions I have. Do you know a question that I thought of that I didn't speak?
Yes.
Okay, Sam, you're in my head. What was the question that you wanted to answer?
A budget, a free gaming setup that you would have you don't have to spend any money.
Okay, you see, I didn't think about that, but that's actually a great question.
You
So,
would totally do that.
I would definitely do that. A free setup? Go for it. Shoot.
Okay.
I mean, nothing's free in life, but yeah.
But you already have this, and this would be a cool concept for a YouTube channel.
A cool concept like a podcast?
99% of the world has a computer. 99% of the world has a smartphone. And I say 99% because the other 1% is all of our grandmas, grandpas, and old boomers.
Actually,
What?
never mind. I'm not going to get into that. That's a whole different thing.
Or maybe 98. Not because there's some grandparents that still use smartphones, but some that are like 100 or like 90s are still using. So there's some people that, but I mean, everyone mostly has a smartphone.
Yes.
People are getting into that. Even the iPhone 6, iPhone 5, 6, 7, 8, 11,
Ew.
12.
I don't like iPhones. They're
Samsung
part of Apple.
Galaxy,
There you go.
Pixel, Samsung S5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
We're soon going to get up to 27 here.
27. Like, all of those are perfect. And even if you have an older camcorder, you could just actually plug that in, or an old DSLR that you just, like, oh, I want to take photography. And back in the early 2000s, all that stuff. Matt Haas used to use his old Canon from like 2011 for the longest, no, actually like 2008 as a camera. So you could actually do that, but the phone gives a nice picture. So you could always use that, just plug it in. There's some great apps for you that's free. And then you would put your phone on boxes so you don't have to spend anything on a tripod.
And then it
No
falls over.
tripod. No, because it's plugged in. And my rig was bad.
I was going to say, what about you?
But I have a tripod, but I didn't use it yesterday.
R.I.P.
So
Sony 6100.
because of the storm, and I was stupid. Plugged it in. But I would say something. Like, you could use that, you could tilt it. There's your webcam. You fire up OBS or Prism Live as a...
Okay. I got some beef with Prism Live here. So, um, during insert place here that most of my audience knows anyway. You know what? Screw it. During Lita, which is a private Facebook group,
The best.
the best
The
private,
best part.
yeah. So, they were doing phone week, and I thought, well, why not? I mean, I use my phone the entire time because internet sucks. But I used Prism Live for maybe one day. I tried to use Prism Live for one day because I was having an issue where I couldn't see the chat on the Facebook Live or on the Facebook Live. I couldn't see the chat, so I'm like, maybe Prism Live will help me out. I can probably see the chat that way. Still couldn't see the chat, and at the end of it, it had a stupid watermark, and I hate watermarks. But that's what you get for using a free app.
No, you can switch that. That's the thing. You can go into settings.
You probably have to pay for it.
No, it's free. It's totally free. Because I did it a couple times.
You didn't tell me about this. And you
have the issue.
I did have the issue. Nobody knew that I had the issue.
You did tell me earlier. You could have told me. I could have said,
mean,
yo.
I did
Yo,
say
homeboy.
I did say something during the live. So if you actually watched my lives instead of watching everybody else's 225 lives. Okay. Back to I guess that does go with streaming, doesn't it? So here's another streaming question. What about okay, let's go locations of streaming. Like what's this is going a little okay, so streaming games. Do you think streaming on Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook is the best? And yes, I said Facebook.
Facebook.com.
Sammy and I are like the only 17-year-olds that use Facebook anymore.
True. But Facebook's pretty awesome.
Facebook
when
is
you're
amazing.
in the good groups.
Facebook is just amazing in general.
Yes.
I have a Snapchat account. I just never use it.
Me too. I use Facebook more than Twitter and Instagram.
Same. Sammy, are we like 80?
Same. Life goals.
Sammy, are we old?
We're old. And I know Paul uses Facebook a lot too.
Okay, but yeah, what do you think's better for streaming video games? Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook? Where do you think you get the best audience?
More people are doing Twitch, but people are leaving for you. But right now, YouTube, I would say YouTube, Twitch. YouTube has the biggest right now, like Twitch, but you can still get very nice engagement, and you also make pre-recorded videos without, like, with Twitch, you can't do anything. So you could have started a vlog, and you don't like that anymore, and you actually have, like, 15,000 subscribers, or like 1,000, and you are doing actually great, and people notice you, but you want to start streaming games. You can start, and you will have an audience. And it's harder to grow on any other platform, to be honest. Do you know?
I mean, you can post videos on Facebook, but again, nobody looks at Facebook anymore. The people that do look at Facebook are the freaking 40-year-old, 50-year-old people, like, soon to be grandmas.
Or in the LSP thing.
Yeah. I mean, of course, but, like, yeah.
LOL.
Old people, and then Sammy and I.
And Paul and Callie, because they are young.
Oh, yeah, and Callie. You see how we didn't say and Paul, because Paul's old? See how we didn't say and Paul, because, Paul's old?
Paul's still a young boomer.
You know what? I like that. Paul, you are a young boomer. You know what? We're talking crap about him. Paul, you want to come up here and talk? You want to come up here and defend yourself?
Doc, doc, doc,
How do I
doc.
how do I invite you to
I think he can just join. I feel so bad. No request.
There we go. I invited him to speak.
Maybe he's just lazy, or I don't know.
He might just be
Maybe he's
listening
doing
and
stuff.
yeah, he might be doing something. He might be talking to his imaginary girlfriend that definitely does exist, but I just want to keep saying that
No,
she's
you know he
imaginary.
actually has a girlfriend.
I
How
know.
did we
I know.
get?
I know. She came on stream one time. I know.
No, I just don't get how we are off topic already.
I mean, we are 43 minutes into this.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is
True.
where I would send it over to Q&A, but there's not very many people watching, and I think Paul is not around.
No,
So
he's not around. So, I really want to say thank you to everyone that has listened to this stream or podcast, whatever you call it. And
thank you to everybody in the replay. Thank you to everybody that watched live. There you go. That's how you say it.
everyone's awesome. You're amazing. And I will see you next time if Austin will allow me again.
Of course. Just start playing games and actually learn.
True. Bye,
Okay.
everybody.
All right, guys. Be the best you that you guys can be. Peace out. We'll catch you guys next time. Bye.